We have seen Pokemon but only shiny and Pokemon but I can't see what I fight. So I was like, what could we do? And after years of research by mad scientists in their basement, looking for the perfect video idea, we finally came to a conclusion. Pokemon, but every crit we gonna put on one piece of clothing. We went from being completely naked to literally using all clothes I own, except for 2 items. Oh, holy shit. We started our journey in New Bugtown and met Professor M. We chose our favorite starter Pokemon. I picked Cyndaquil and gave him the name of the guy in my chat I got the video idea from. We started progressing into the next city, but we didn't see any crits at all. But then, at some point, there was the first crit. Oh no! And immediately the second one. Oh no, I critted again! And the third one. No, we crit! But this time we received the crit. I got crit! This also counts. And after the Spellsprout Tower, we already had 5 crits on the clock. I started with underwear, shorts, t-shirt and multiple pairs of socks. I caught a Ghastly in the Bellsprout Tower and decided to level him up. But at the end, this was probably a bad decision. Oh, it's a critical hit! I also changed from a t-shirt to an undershirt because I thought this is the better idea. And then we took crit number 7. And another one. And another one. Currently wearing underwear, shorts, 2 undershirts and 4 pairs of socks. Starting to warming up a little. Nothing special up to the first gym leader Falkner, until we encounter his last Pokemon Pidgeotto. That we suddenly crit on the last hit. And there comes another pair of socks. On our way to the next city we caught a Wooper and we called him Smallland, because he loves Wooper so much. And also he will be our HM slave. We continued training Ghastly, but he kept on critting a lot with Lick. I mean, how can a Lick not be critical? So there goes 2 pairs of new socks. We made our way through Union Cave up to Azalea Town, but we had 1 crit on the way. The first thing we had to do in Azalea Town is going down the Slowpoke well.
Then I took a tumble down the well and I slumped down out on my back so I can't move. Rats.
I mean, do you need like an EMS, like emergency? You fell down a f***ing well. I kinda assume you might wanna call the hospital. And afterwards we fight our second gym leader, Bugsy. And on his second Pokemon Metapod, we had another critical strike. So we are putting on way more socks. During our way through the Ilex forest, we took another crit, put on the first t-shirt again, and made us on our way to the Goldenrod City. Another crit, but this time we equipped a new beanie. But I realized that I was wearing a hat since the beginning and this should also count. 1 last crit before we reach the town, and then we got a little lost in Goldenrod City. In the Goldenrod Underground we have been critting a little bit and putting on more t-shirts. Next we're gonna reach a national park, head back to get the radio card and fight our third gym leader Whitney. And we're gonna crit again. Putting on more and more t-shirts of course. But we earned our third badge. Grabbing the sweat bottle real quick from the flower lady and take on the fight with the Sudowoodo. But we lost this time actually. On the fight with the twins another crit, another t-shirt and heading immediately to the Ecruteak gym. Just to get kicked out. Heading to the Burn Tower, meeting our rival and beating up gym leader Morty afterwards. Oh, yes.
On the way to Olivine City, we actually encounter Entei.
What?
I don't know if this happens regularly, but he fled after me not even trying to catch it. In Olivine City, our rival is telling us to go to the lighthouse and search for the gym leader. So that's where we are actually heading to. In the beginning of the lighthouse we were actually lucky of non-critting, but then of course it had to happen.
Oh no!
Putting on more beanies this time. Meeting Jasmine, telling me to go to Cianwood City to get some medicine for her amphoras. I completely forgot to pick up HM3 for Surf, so I went back to Ecruteak City to pick it up. Another crit on our way back to Olivine City.
Critical hit!
More t-shirts. First trainer while surfing gave me a crit, so I had to put on my last shirt I actually own. Another trainer, another crit, but this time I had to put on some underwear. In the CMO gym, we got another crit against some trainers, but this time I put the underwear over my shorts. Chuck's team was incredibly strong and defeated me. On the second try he crits me and I fainted again. No tees or underwear left, so I started with the shirts. On the third try I was actually able to defeat Chuck, but it was ultra close. But not without taking another crit. Back in Olivine City I gave Ampharos his medicine and started the fight against Jasmine, our 6th gym leader. Against our Taflausen, this was actually an easy fight. Afterwards we started our journey to Mahagoni Town and critted the last trainer once, so we put another Cappy. On the Lake of Rage we were not able to catch the Red Gyarados, or even defeat it, so we had to flee. Now we had to fight a lot of Team Rocket. And of course, when you fight a lot, you crit a lot. And a lot. After being done with Team Rocket, we headed right into the gym. Took another crit against the trainer, but gym leader prize was not even a challenge. But because we couldn't continue traveling east to our 8th gym, we had to go back to Goldenrod City and fight Team Rocket again. A lot of fighting, a lot of critting, and a lot more critting. I was barely even able to walk anymore. Putting on some pants this time, a few more shirts until we finally reached the leader of Team Rocket and defeat him in a battle. After being done with Team Rocket, we continued the journey through the ice path in hopes of getting our 8th badge soon. I was completely lost in the 8th gym, spinning my way through the lava pools until we were finally able to fight Claire, the 8th gym leader, and damn, she was hard. That was not easy. I'm gonna get beat up. We crit her once, but that was actually much needed though, even though we didn't even defeat her. Second try and I critted her again. I critted her, but at least I was able to defeat her this time. To actually receive the 8th badge, we went to the Dragon Shrine, solved the quiz, and finally got the last badge we needed to encounter the Elite Four. Back in New Bug Town, we talked to Professor M, who gave us the Master Ball to catch Ho-Oh, so we went to Ekroteak Town, defeated the 5 Kimono Girls, and went straight ahead to the Bell Tower to catch Ho-Oh. Wow! Ho-Oh! After a long and intense fight with Ho-Oh in this attempt to catch him, we finally reached Kanto on our way to the Victory Road to encounter the Elite Four. I was planning to train Ho-Oh a little bit, but we just ended up farming a lot of more crits. And a lot of more crits. One last fight against our rival before we finally reached the Elite Four. Easy win without even getting more crits than we already had. Just before fighting the Elite Four, we put on all the 6 glows for all the crits we farmed until reaching this point in Kanto. And I was sweating a lot. It was hard to breathe and I didn't even have any more clothes available. Maybe some shoes or belts. First up was Will with his Psychic type team, but he was no challenge for my over-leveled Typhlosion. Koga was number 2, really easy for Typhlosion, but of course we had to add another crit. Next up was Bruno and his Fighting type team. Not as easy anymore, but definitely manageable by Typhlosion. And of course another crit. Putting on some gloves this time. Karen with her almost only Dark type team was number 4 on the list, only one trainer away from the champion lands. One more crit for the second pair of gloves, but of course she did not stand any chance against my one Pokemon team. And there we are, the last enemy between me and ending the current challenge. First on the line was the Gyarados, so I brought Ho-Oh. I was super lucky to survive his waterfall by 4 HP, to get a Sacred Fire out and burn him. After Ho-Oh died, Typhlosion was able to finish Gyarados off. His Aerodactyl took a big hit from my Eruption, but his Rock Slide was even a bigger hit from my Typhlosion. He managed to kill Typhlosion in 2 hits, throwing in Small to revive Typhlosion again. Typhlosion was finally able to finish his Aerodactyl off. Next up was his Dragonite and he had 3 of them. They didn't really care about my abilities. I had to use all my spare Pokemon to save some time and revive all my fainted Pokemon. With a lucky combination of confusions, misses and full restores, I was finally able to take all his 3 Dragonites down, but it was really close. Only his Charizard was left between him and my Champions title. I started off the fight with Double Edge. Double Edge him first. Yeah! It is done! It's my whole bag of clothing I own. Guys, this was Pokemon, but for every crit, I'm gonna put on 1 piece of clothing. carried by Typhlosion. With Small Ant in the group. Scary Mother. Wookie as our rival. I was sweaty, thirsty and so happy that it was over. Guys, if you liked it, please make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed it. See you next time.
You like a lonely man. Without me, you're not like everyone. That's why I choose you.